Hola y bienvenidos a tu primer presentación de gramática en casa. So this year I'm hoping to use what is called the flipped classroom method to teach grammar concepts. So that just means that you will learn the new material at home by watching a video, and that way we can use class time for targeted practice and I will be there to help you. So today we're going to watch a video reviewing how to correctly use the verbs ser and estar. Make sure first of all that you have your guided notes in front of you to fill out as we go, as well as a pencil and a pen so that you can make corrections. So we already know that both of these verbs mean to be, but they are used in different contexts. So before we go any further, see if you can conjugate both verbs just in the present tense. And I will even be nice and I will give you the yo form of each verb. All right, go ahead and pause the video and fill in just the present tense forms. Okay, let's see how you did. As we go through each form together, be sure to correct your answers as necessary. So for the verb ser, we have yo soy, tú eres, él, ella, usted es, nosotros somos, vosotros sois, ellos, ellas, ustedes son. For the verb estar, estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. Don't forget the accents and the bottom 4 conjugations for the verb estar. All right, how did you do? Feel free to pause the video and make corrections as necessary. We have also learned how to conjugate these verbs in the past tense in both the preterite and the imperfect. Please pause the video now and fill in both the preterite and imperfect forms. If you need to, take out your past tense folder to help. Okay, let's see how you did. Here are the conjugations of ser in the preterite and the estar. Note that both of these are irregular verbs in the preterite tense. Ser is an ugly verb, un verbo feo. Estar is a U stem using irregular endings. Here's ser in the imperfect and estar in the imperfect. Remember that ser is also irregular in the imperfect, but estar is conjugated as a normal verb. Feel free to pause the video again and make corrections if you need to. So now that we remember how to conjugate both verbs in all 3 tenses, we need to talk about how to choose which verb to use in a specific context. So let's start with ser. Now this is not a hard and fast rule, but ser is generally used when we are talking about things that are more permanent. If you want to tell your girlfriend that she's beautiful, for example, be sure to use ser so that she knows you mean she's beautiful all the time, not just today. So here are 5 specific contexts that require ser. Be sure to fill these in on your notes. First of all, use ser if you are identifying people or things. For example, if you wanted to introduce me to one of your friends, you could say, Esta es Señora Keating, mi profesora de español. You also use ser to say where people are from. If you want to say that your grandparents are from Puerto Rico, for example, you would say, mis abuelos son de Puerto Rico. You also use ser to describe what someone or something is like. So let's say that you're talking about your childhood and you want to say that you were somewhat quiet. You would say, yo era una persona callada. We also use ser to give the day, date, and time. If I want to tell you that I did my homework last night at 6:30, I would say, eran las 6:30. Or if I want to tell you what the time is right now, I could say, son las 2:20 de la tarde. Finally, we use ser when we're talking about the location of events. So, for example, if I'm telling you that the party I went to last night was at my friend's house, I would say, la fiesta fue en la casa de mi amiga. All right, let's see if you can put this into practice. Go ahead and pause the video and fill in the blanks with the correct form of ser. Now, keep in mind that you will have to choose between conjugating ser in the present, preterite, or imperfect tenses. So read through the entire sentence first before deciding on your answer. Pause the video now. How'd you do? Let's take a look. Make corrections in pen as we go through each one. 1. Margarita, tú eres mi mejor amiga, saying who someone is, identifying someone. 2. Nosotros somos de México, saying where we are from. 3. De pequeña, yo era bastante delgada. Of course, I knew to use the imperfect because it says de pequeña in front. 4. Eran las 2:30 cuando llegó el cartero. I knew I was talking about what time it was previously because the second verb, llegó, is conjugated in the preterite. Now it's time to challenge yourself. Can you translate each of the following sentences to Spanish? Pause the video and give it a shot. A little harder this time, huh? Here's what you should have. Mi abuelo es bombero. Esa fiesta anoche fue increíble. Pause the video to make corrections if you need to. All right, now let's switch gears and look at when we should use estar instead of ser. Again, just a generalization, but normally we will use estar when we are talking about more temporary things. Write down these specific reasons for using estar. First of all, to say where someone or something is. So, for example, mi amigo está en la cocina. Also, to ask and say how people are feeling or doing. I ask you this question all the time when you come in the classroom. ¿Cómo estás? I want to know about your feelings. You also use estar to say how food tastes at a particular moment, and also with the present participle. Those are words that end in ando, yendo, or the English equivalent would be ing to form the present or past progressive. For example, yo estoy hablando ahora. I am talking now. Remember this helpful rhyme? For how you feel and where you are, always use the verb estar. All right, now that we've reviewed, once again, go ahead and pause the video and try to fill in the blanks with the correct forms of estar. All right, how did you do? María e Iván están en la cocina. Mateo estuvo muy enfermo esta mañana. La sopa estaba muy fría, describing how the soup tasted. ¿Por qué estás escribiendo? Solo tenemos que hablar. Again, now it's time to challenge yourself. Pause the video and see if you can translate the entire sentence to Spanish. A little harder this time. All right, here's what you should have. Carolina está muy triste hoy. Estabas esperando, there's your past participle, el autobús esta mañana. Okay, now let's go ahead and put it all together. So for each of these sentences, you want to circle the form of the verb that correctly completes the sentence based on the context, and then write the reason why you chose the verb that you did. You can choose from the reasons that you wrote in your notes for each verb. Go ahead and pause the video and try to complete this section on your own. All right, let's see how we did. Make corrections as we go. Mis padres son de Perú. This one we're saying where people are from. Hola Roberto, ¿cómo estás hoy? Asking and saying how people are doing. María estaba hablando por su celular. That's the past progressive. Nosotros estuvimos en el colegio para el concierto anoche. And eran las 4 en punto cuando salimos juntos to give the time. All right, that is it for Ser and Estar. Don't forget to go to my website, click on the link for Spanish 3. You may need to sign into Edline. And then scroll over and take the formative assessment to show me what you've learned. Thanks for watching today.